think that I then I think that
You were not ready for
yeah, no, no, no.
writing.
Once I wrote so much of poetry,
Yeah.
I think that I was ready,
Okay.
but I did not know anything about the technique of writing a
I see.
novel. That I did not know, you see. But it was an adventure. For me, it
Yeah.
was a great adventure, a great challenge, you see. And I like challenges.
I
If
see.
something, it's, see, I think that I come from that element of the old world which where you don't think about the money, but you think about something creative, something which with passion,
Yeah.
you see, and leave the rest. Now you see, it's easy for me to say that because I earn a living
Yeah.
and a good living as a doctor in the
Right.
States as a cardiologist. So I have never been dependent on
Writing.
on writing, you see, and that's an advantage that I have.
Yeah.
In some way, it's a disadvantage as well because what happens is that I'm very good at the process of writing,
Yeah.
but then there's the other element, which
The
is the
mechanics.
business
Okay.
element,
Okay. The business element.
which I'm not good at, you
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
because I don't have the time for all that. So then I think that after I wrote about 3 or 4 chapters, and I gave, I think, those 3 chapters to João de Veiga Coutinho, who had written his book in a kind of absence, and I had hosted a party
I
for the book signing, release in
I
my
see.
house. I knew the publisher very well because he had published my first book of poems, and João really encouraged me
I see.
to finish it. So I finished it in about, I'm very fast, in about a year and a
I
half
see.
to 2 years.
A lot
then
of hard
it's-
work. I mean, it's like
Yeah, but
50,000 words or-
But no, the hard work starts later on because you see,
Yeah.
for a writer,
yeah.
particularly everything from poetry, creative writing, as you probably know very well, is actually rewriting.
That's true.
And when
Polishing it up and
that element to go to workshops,
yeah.
different opinions of people. Some people like it, some people question.
Some who can't understand it probably
Can't
because it's a
understand
local.
it, exactly.
story.
So those elements, took a long time.
Interesting. And in that sense, writing is very different from say cardiology. I mean, this is stating the obvious. But a lot of work is remaining in polishing it up. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I think that
which would you find tougher in that sense? Or is cardiology no longer a challenge today since you've been there?
Yeah, I don't like to say this aloud, not for my colleagues or anybody to hear. So since I'm giving this interview in Goa, it's
Yeah,
fine.
they'll probably see it on YouTube also.
Yeah, I think I would think that perhaps I've gone through the whole gamut. By the
Yeah.
way, I was in electrophysiology from the start of
I
electrophysiology
see.
to now.
I see.
I give one of the. I'm very much asked to speak on the history of cardiac electrophysiology, and I speak it with authority.
For a layperson
because-
like me, what exactly does it? What does electrophysiology imply?
Yeah, electrophysiology deals with the electricity of the heart. You see, the heart has got 2 functions, mostly mechanical and electrical. It's the electrical activity that generates the mechanical function. And there are a lot of arrhythmias, rhythm abnormalities. And I have been right from the beginning of the start of the
I see.
field
I see.
to today, which spans a long period of time. So I have it all. I have seen the whole spectrum.
I see.
There are very few of us. Actually, the Heart Rhythm Society in America is going to have a special booth honoring us
I see.
in May.
I see.
And I have sent a poem.
I see.
wrote the first poem, Ode to an Electrophysiologist,
I
as
see.
a matter of fact. And they're going to feature the poem. I was interviewed for the history of electrophysiology, and I've delivered the featured lecture at Johns Hopkins University on the history of cardiac electrophysiology. So it is a part of my blood, basically. You
I
see.
see.
And perhaps because of that, because I've attained everything that I needed to in the field, I wouldn't say, I give it, I give it all to, or I look at the future like we in America usually do. At a certain stage in our life, we
Yeah.
hand it to the young generation, and we do it elegantly, actually. Over here, you are hold on. We don't hold on. You see, we know that all the new achievements in science, you see,
Yeah.
in science, the productivity is at a young age.
Right.
You see, Einstein, for example, his theory of relativity was finished by the age of 18.
I see.
Yeah. He didn't do very much, in later years. In medicine as well, you see, the creativity of the mind is the peak is at the 40s.
I see.
Then after that, it's maintaining, you see,
Yeah.
and giving it to the young people.
Mentoring maybe.
Maintaining yourself,
Mentoring others to.
maintaining others, encouraging the young people. That's my function.
One last question. Tell us a little bit about the Goa Heart Foundation and.
Yeah, absolutely. There are, we want to, we feel very strongly about Goa. Goa America Heart Foundation was formed with the idea that we provide cardiovascular health care which is affordable,
I see.
which is hopefully of the best quality, and we serve everybody.
And how will that be attained?
How so far we have it's a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
Contributions in India are tax deductible.
I see.
Contributions in the States are tax deductible. We have a board of trustees in the States.
All doctors
No,
mostly. No.
no, not all doctors. Most, only one or two are doctors.
Okay.
And there's a board of trustees in Goa who have done a fantastic job. And basically, some of us are on the board over here as well. And we have made, our job over there is to direct it. The board of trustees over here implement it, and they actually work much harder than we do. We also garner funds, you see, from the Goan community. And we have garnered substantial funds to start a clinic. So we have started a clinic, we have hired a cardiologist who is incredibly dedicated, Dr. Jyoti Kusner. I will be taking her to New York for some training in electrophysiology and intervention, where she will get the opportunity to see the absolute, the top
Cutting
of
edge.
the top, the cutting edge in both fields. More of an observer, And our plan is to build a cardiovascular hospital. We obviously need a huge amount of money for that, somewhere in the ballpark of 3 to 4 million. So we have commitment for the land and so on and so forth. So those things are there, but at this time what we need is huge amount of money. And that is not easy, to raise that amount of money. You can't raise within the community as much. You need some very wealthy donors who can give 3 or 4 donors who can give $1 million or 2. So we are very dedicated to accomplishing this. The board over here, particularly Mr. Ian Martin, has been working tirelessly. And I think that we have accomplished quite a lot. We still have a lot to accomplish. We also have a system in terms of charging people. For the poor, we don't want to charge anything, to deliver the health care. So there are some guidelines, of how much we charge and so on and so forth. But basically, it is a non-profit organization. That's the key to it. And it is our way, basically, to say thank you.
Thanks and all the best.